Hello and a very warm welcome to Eboli, Southern Italy once again. Will you join us for the final round-robin encounter in week 5 of action? And it features the host nation, Italy, against the 4th-ranked team in the world, Brazil. So both the positions of these teams have been set to a certain extent. Brazil arrive here having won the 2 previous encounters in week 5, taking victories over Thailand and Belgium. They've done so taking maximum points. They've already secured their passage through to the final 6 in China. So now they'll be looking for another maximum points victory in this to get the best possible position that they can in terms of seeding for that 16th final in China. In the unlikely event that the USA were to lose to Argentina in Argentina later on, then they could be caught by Brazil. As Italy make their way in here, also looking to extend what has been a terrific winning streak. 2 straight set victories to this point, extending their winning streak to 9 out of their last 10. Also won 7 matches in a row. But now they know that the finals are out of reach and they can't do anything about their position. Poland are in 7th, just behind them with 22 points, and they can't catch the Netherlands and Turkey ahead of them, who have 31 and 32 points respectively. So Italy will be playing to extend this magnificent run of momentum that they have built up, which has seen them win 9 of their last 10 matches after losing the first 4 in a row. And will they be able to make it a rare victory in this rivalry against Brazil? Brazil have won 30 of the previous 37 encounters in this particular head-to-head. Now there's confirmation. You see Italy down in 6th. They can neither catch Netherlands above them, can't be caught by Poland behind them. Russia have already played their 15th game, and earlier here today in southern Italy we saw Belgium produce a terrific 3-1 win over Thailand. And remember, Argentina later on will be facing off against the reigning world champions, the USA. So the respective champions, the respective captains squaring off. It's Brazil, who won the coin toss and elected to serve. The players came together earlier on. So here then, players make their way out onto court. An opportune time to welcome Clayton Lucas, former GB international, ahead of this match between 2 strong teams in the world scene, and a rematch of last year's Grand Prix World Final, and both of them looking to continue the magnificent momentum they've built up.
This is the tie of this weekend, without a doubt, the tie of the 3 days. The 2 heavyweights of world volleyball coming together to hopefully delight the fans and delight all of us watching. This is the head-to-head. Brazil have had it all their own way so far. They were pushed to 5 sets in the World Grand Prix last year. Italy and Brazil both have new players. They're both looking at ultimately they're looking at Japan 2020 and building for that. For Italy, they match up very well with Brazil. Tall players. The captain, Kirikella, number 10, who's been very, very good through the middle, just 24 years of age, spikes at 322, blocks at 306. Has had an excellent tournament so far, very good in block, and that's something we are going to see today, the 2 contrasting blocking styles of these 2 countries. For Kirikella, when she gets up, hand above the height of the net, the minute it's above, it's across the net. Whereas when we watch Brazil, they go up and then they press. Bossetti, the outside hitter for Italy, likes a quick ball out wide. She likes to hit on the way up. She likes to frustrate blocks. She's not such a good attacker given her height when it comes to a high, wide ball where she's got a big block against her. That's something Brazil will try to do, try and disrupt what's going on. But if Italy find themselves in a position where they can only go to one player, they will hope it's going to be Igonu, just 19 years of age. And even though she's slightly shorter than Kieran Keller, she is by far the player with the biggest jump, the biggest block in women's volleyball at the moment. And one in which Brazil will know she's going to be really tough to deal with today. For Brazil, well, they will look to Roberta, their setter, in order for her to make smart decisions about where she's going to be putting the ball, who she's going to be trying to get involved with the attack, and who she wants to release by getting the spikes away. And she'll be a player that she'll be looking at the block to see what's happening, and then she'll be looking as well to see where Tandara is. Tandara has been the go-to player for Brazil, is the opposite hitter. Very contrasting styles between Tandara and Igonu, both playing in that power hitting role. Tandara doesn't hit as high, but she certainly hits as hard. And for Brazil, Ana Beatriz, big middle blocker for them. Unlike Kieran Keller, she likes to go up and then go across the net. Sometimes gets caught out when she's travelling wide to help out to make blocks, but is very quick through the middle. It's going to be a really interesting duel if those two find each other against each other at the net, Kieran Keller and Ana Beatriz. And then it will be just how the setters deal with those situations. It's, well, such an interesting matchup. For Guimarães, he's been there, he's seen it, he knows it's not going to be any surprise for him what Italy have got to offer. For them and for Brazil, it's about how they will deal with it. One thing that Brazil can do really, really well is they fight really hard. They don't give up on anything. They'll chase everything down. And a lot of their successes at times have come from that tenacious ability to never give up. Even when they've been up against teams far better than them technically, with greater height or can hit harder, Brazil, more often than not, have come away with victories, much to the surprise of the team that have been defeated. But this should be an absolute belter.
They took 2 5-set victories in week 4 action against the #1 ranked team in the world, China, and against Russia. Coming into this 5th week of play, they had contested more sets than any nation other than Thailand. They both came in with 47 sets apiece under their belt. So those fighting qualities, that never say die attitude, just expounded upon by Clayton, demonstrated in the numbers, and the fact that they come into this at 12-2 with 34 points for second in the round robin standings. It's a terrific atmosphere here. The fans keenly anticipating this heavyweight clash between the host nation Italy and Brazil, the fourth-ranked team in the world. Goran Gradinsky introduced to the crowd. Evgeny Makshanov, his colleague between them, these two officials will preside over this match. So the visiting starting six introduced to the crowd first.
Well, it'll be Brazil coming out onto court first. Ana Dezia, number 5, will be going through the middle. Addy, as she has on the back of her shirt. It's Roberta, number 9, setting. Gabby is going through the outside. And Amanda, number 13, the other outside hitter. And then in the opposite slot, it's Paval, number 15. So no Tandara on court for Brazil. So Monique, as she has on her shirt, getting the starting slot, and the other middle blocker will be Anna Patrice, the libero Sue Ellen. So the notable change then, Tandara, the go-to hitter, not selected by Guimarães for this one. With his team safely into the finals, it is an opportunity for Monique to have a run out. But actually, Monique, the strength and depth that Brazil have, it's not going to affect too much, potentially, the outcome of this one. And now it's Italy who are making their way out onto court. And it's a start for Serena Ortolani in what may well be her very last international match for Italy. She's had a bit of a watching brief throughout this VNL. She gets to start this one. And also starting is Ophelia Malinov, number 5. She's setting. Cristina Kirikella, number 10. The captain's going through the middle. And then a change for Italy, number 13. Farr is starting through the middle. And it'll be Lucia Bossetti going through the outside. And then it will be Marocchioli who will be involved as well. Mazzantini making a few changes himself ahead of this one. I think the most notable change being the fact that Ortolani gets the start.
Well, Serena Ortolani, we see confirmation of that starting six, including the most experienced player on the Italian lineup.
And in fact, Ortolani's playing in the opposite slot, even though she's an outside hitter, and so Igonu then on the bench is Bossetti and Mingardi acting as the outside hitters for Italy, so it is quite a big change for them. The only change of note for Brazil is Monique, who's starting the opposite slot. Otherwise, it's a pretty much unchanged team for Brazil.
Well, it really is a fantastic atmosphere here. The decibel level being cranked up as we prepare for the first serve of this first set. It's Brazil who won the toss, and they'll get it underway with their captain, Roberta, to get this thing started. Immediately, the net cord clipped. Swellen with the initial contact of the return. Diving save by the libero Di Gennaro. Terrific save by Brazil to keep themselves in the point. Gabby with a high-flying spike, deflected but kept in play by Italy, and then turned back by a towering block from Addy, and Brazil put the first point on the board.
What a rally to get this game going, goodness me. That's some high intensity, both teams at full stretch. And it's a point that's been won as opposed to an error that's been made as well. A positive start to this match.
Diving save by Di Gennaro results in an unreturnable serve. She got contact beneath it, but my goodness, did that ball dip steeply as it made its way into the vicinity of the libero.
The men's game have adopted the jump float serve for the very reason that watching women's volleyball, the net being slightly lower and the flat serve that comes in, want to adopt that style. It's very difficult to pick a ball up that's coming at you in a straight line as to where it's going to drop.
That's terrifically put away by Serena Ortolani. Clayton mentioned the fact that it may well be her last appearance in the Azzurri jersey of Italy. Started this tournament with 279 caps, the most of any of the Italian players. She's bringing all of that experience to bare during that point. Her first of the match, Italy back to within one. Well put away. Brazil restore their 2-point advantage almost immediately.
Very important to establish the middles early, so that means then you keep the opposition middle waiting, so you can try and get spaces out wide, and Roberta doing that really well by getting Addy in on the swing.
Mingardi with a difficult service reception, but it's Italy who claim the point as the rebound cannons out of bounds.
Very nice swing there from Mingardi. He's not had a lot of court time over the last couple of days, if any at all, and having come into this one, he's making a positive start.
Swellen with the dig, big block sent back into the backcourt to bring Gabby into the play. Bossetti with the backcourt reception. Oh, that is pile driving from Danesi, my goodness. She elevated quickly, got her head up above the tape and cannoned that one down.
Comes in on the shoot ball. She's up before Addy can get anywhere near her. Suella with no chance in the back row to dig this one.
Swellen with the service reception, the libero for Brazil. Quick reflexes at the net by Monique to keep, by Amanda to keep it alive, but it's Italy who come away with the points, and they take the lead for the first time, and just listen to the ovation that greets that success.
It's a nice play. It was good recovery by Amanda, but free ball for Italy, and then Mingardi working the block.
Mingardi with 2 clean kills already. It's her first appearance of week 5 pool play. Block at the net from Danesi. Rebounds beyond the sidelines, and we are all square once again. Well, this really is a terrific atmosphere. How much inspiration can Italy draw from this as they go in search of a rare victory against the 2-time Olympic champions Brazil? Rossetti with the service reception. Delicate touch over from Ortolani. The libero De Gennaro with the dig. Difficult reception, ultimately dealt with by Roberta. Pushed over, so plenty of time for Italy to set here. Oh, what a block! My goodness, that is sensational. Anna Beatriz rising in perfect timing and controlling the direction of the rebound to produce that stuff block.
Really good work this. Monique lining up, and then Anna Beatriz coming in to close the gap, and ultimately then make the winning touch.
So Bossetti with the service reception. Backcourt spike is an absolute thunderbolt, and it produces a point for Italy to tie things up at 5 small.
Extremely high-level volleyball we are seeing here in the opening few points of this first set. Really good swing there for Ortolani.
So it's been a brilliant start by Mingardi. She's got 2 points in the game already, but it's a service error to edge Brazil ahead by 1. Only finding the net on that occasion. So Monique preparing to serve. 1 point in the match so far. Well dealt with by Gabby. Quick thinking, but there was no way she could ultimately control the contact, having hurtled over towards the advertising hoarding. We're all square once again. So we have been tied at 4, 5, and now 6 as Danesi produces the serve. That's terrific hitting from the backcourt by Monique, her second clean kill of the match.
Monique coming just inside, and we're seeing quite a little bit of that now. When teams run the slide behind, and so the front court player goes to the antenna, there's no room then for the player at 1 to actually go in that slot, so they come inside slightly. Ortolani did it a few points before, Monique doing it then, so just bringing that spike inside to create that gap to attack into.
Well, the hitting has been on point right from the opening serve in this encounter here. Watch Bossetti get off the ground.
Good swing from there. She's got that attack away before Anna Beatriz has got her hands anywhere near the net, exploiting the late press from Brazil.
Well, Anna Beatriz producing the kill. And that takes Brazil to the 8-point total to bring up the first technical timeout. There's only 1 point in it. Brazil are leading by 1. Well, the fans here are enjoying the most magnificent spectacle of high-level volleyball. Look at the effort that they've made to come and support their team. Jerseys being waved in the crowd, Italian tricolores, posters have been made. Which look as though they've taken some time to put together. It's all combining to make a carnival-like atmosphere here that these players must be relishing.
You just love that buzz. Sometimes, you know, to have that crowd helping you, the ambiance to help lift your game in situations like these definitely helps no end. And for these young volleyball fans, the icing on the cake for them would be an Italian win and to get their posters signed as well.
Well, there is a lot of volleyball to be played, still in the early stages of this opening set, and there is very little in it. Brazil with a 1-point lead. The reception of the serve by Bossetti. How about that for almost a contemptuous spike? Powered down by the captain, Chiricella.
That's a good play as well, because they've run it over the top of Gabby, who's the outside hitter. So she doesn't have the height, and she wasn't really ready for it. Very nice siding out by Italy.
Well, Gabby getting the contact at the net to make it point for Brazil. Either team, the largest lead we've had so far has been a 2-point advantage when Brazil took the opening point to 2 points of this opening set. Since then, only 1 point in it either way. And that's wide of the mark. Brazil celebrates immediately. No contact, and a point goes in their direction to equal their largest lead of the set so far. So the Brazilian captain, Roberta, preparing to serve. But it's a service error, and the gap reduced to 1 yet again. So her opposite number, Chiricella with the serve, but it's back-to-back service errors. In a match that has started at such high quality, well, Mingardi produced a service error on her first serve of week 5 action. Just even in such quick succession, it's a rarity indeed in the context of this match. It's a 2-point advantage once again for Brazil. So Gabby with the serve, the overhand reception from Mingardi. Oh, that's sensational from Danesi. Punching that one deep into the backcourt. No opportunity for Brazil to dig it out.
The slide behind this time was in close behind the setter, and it created that gap because the middle blocker wouldn't go all the way out, thinking that Amanda was going to go out wide. And Amanda just took too many steps out too wide.
Terrific dig in the backcourt by Bossetti. She got down low in a hurry. Delicate touch caused the Brazilian captain Roberta interaction. Oh, how about that for a put away? Now Monique is looking inquiringly up at the official. Italy are celebrating the point. Now is a challenge going to be launched here?
Indeed, there is the buzzer saying that we think this one hit the block. It was a cracking spike from Monique. was just inquiring as to whether or not the ball has touched the block as it went past. And actually, do you know what? It hasn't touched the block, but had it hit Mingardi's hair, which is coming up, that would have been conceived to be a touch. As it was, it didn't do that either.
That being the case, players seemingly not encouraged to tie their hair up into a bun. They're allowed to sport whatever style they like.
It happens very rarely, and most players do tie it up into a ponytail, and if the ponytail should hit the net in gameplay, that doesn't count as a touch. But if the ball hits any part of the body, including clothing, then it is a touch.
So the seesaw scoring continues. Deadlock broken. Brazil with a 1-point lead once again. So Bossetti with the service reception. Oh, the big spike, turn back, and it's a clean stuff block. Now, Italy perhaps thinking about launching a challenge here, but that was a terrific play at the net. Powerful spike, perfect positioning on the block, and they sent it back.
One-on-one as well, and that one has landed in. Even with De Janeiro right next to it saying it was out, but no challenge coming.
So, 2-point cushion for Brazil equals their largest of the set. Oh, that is sensational, my goodness. From behind the 3-meter attack line, Malinov getting terrific depth. Excuse me, I said it was Malinov, it's Bossetti.
It's Malinov who found Bossetti and running a 50, which actually Italy haven't been doing. Thailand, we saw, if you watched the first game today, we're running that play. First time we've seen Italy doing it. Substitution as Murughiale comes in for some passing and defending duty. Is by definition a libero for this team, but is being used in a straight position so she could actually hit, but she's not going to, but it does give her the opportunity to have a swing anywhere and also set the attack up from anywhere, and that's been kept in play magnificently by Brazil, and now it's going to be a let. Now the let is coming because the referee, or the second referee, has called for this, must have called the ball down, or something's happened. It wasn't immediately obvious as to the reason for the let call. It looked as if it was a dig was made fair and square. I think the referee may well have initially called it as being down and then had to call for the let, realising it was in fact dug fairly.
So Brazil replay the point at bite 2. Bossetti with the acute angle on the put away brings her team back to within 1.
If you're watching Amanda moving in defence, as we see this ball being hit, Amanda just slightly out of the picture, but she's still moving laterally here. And if she'd stayed where she was, because the spiker had left the floor, she actually would have made a dig. And the important thing is, for those of you learning your volleyball and getting the right skills and understanding the game, when the spiker jumps, wherever you are on court, stand still and play from there.
Oh, what a block at the net. That is absolutely sensational, and Brazil are hyped. Producing the point with that towering barrier of a play.
Solani put down. Amanda lining her up, making sure it didn't come over. The most unique serve routine you've ever seen from Amanda. And unfortunately for her, it doesn't help her. The one thing, it always makes me worried when I watch Amanda go to serve, because she's bouncing that ball around and moving, and she has so little room between herself and the serving line, and then she throws it up and almost falls after it. It's amazing that she gets them in and gets aces at times as well, actually.
Malinov forcing a diving dig from Suellen. How about that from the sidelines, down the sideline from Gabby.
We had a really good view then from the end on of the court, how Gabby came in as if she's going to hit it cross court and then just hits over her shoulder to the space that she can see in her peripheral vision. She knows where the block is as she's looking at the ball, and then knows what space she's got as a result. Brazil very good for their 2-point lead at a technical timeout. Sue Ellen's job is just to make that pass, get it into a position, and this was that shot. You can see Gabby facing everything cross-court. Brilliant hit over the shoulder to keep the height and still generate sufficient power to make it difficult for anyone who had been defending down the line. As yet, no place on court for Igonu. And that's difficult for Igonu at 19 years of age, being the starting player. No matter what the reason, she's on the bench, you can bet that she wants to be on court. Bossetti at the moment, just 3 points for her so far.
She was joint top scorer for Italy yesterday with 19 points, equaling Pietrini in that regard, and she's not yet made an appearance on court either. The two teenage sensations led their team in scoring yesterday, but neither of them have played a part to this point.
Given a bit of a rest at the moment.
So Di Gennaro made the service reception, and just a little bit of a exasperated hop upon landing by Gabby. Couldn't control that block as she would have liked. So Italy back to within one. The serve from Bossetti. The reverse set brings about a clever touch, but it's unable to be controlled by Addy, and we are all square yet again. 16 points apiece. Italy stringing together consecutive points without reply. Oh, almost an unreturnable serve, but ultimately a terrific save. But not on the second occasion. So Italy take the lead. Hasn't happened often in this first set. They led it 4-3. Since then, they've always been playing catch-up. Ortolani slamming that one down the sideline beyond the two Brazilian defenders. Clever touch. Di Gennaro with the diving effort to save it. Ultimately comes to no avail. We are all square at 17. Oh, this is absolutely magnificent to watch.
Get the feeling as we head into the business end now of this first set, there's not going to be much to separate these two teams. If it goes to 24, don't be surprised. That is a magnificent side out. It's just a side out though nonetheless, as the Italian captain gets to put that one away through the middle. Addy went with the front court setter, and then that left a free swing to put this one away with nobody in front. Very nicely done.
Gabby receives serve. Monique, oh, that is a terrific stuff block at the net. A combination of Ortolani and Danesi combining to edge Italy ahead by one. Look at the penetration over the net tape.
It's that penetration the minute the hands get above, to get into the space, to get close to the ball, to close down the angles, that makes the difference.
Brazil have called timeout. They're trailing by one into this opening set. Well, just a single point in it. But at this juncture, Italian fans who have decorated themselves with face paint and adorned themselves with flags, they will be slightly happier as a crescendo of applause erupts As the Italian captain prepares to serve, but Brazil counter immediately. We are deadlocked once again, 19 points apiece. Italy strung together 3 points in succession to go from 3-1 down to lead 4-3. And they edge ahead by 1 again here.
This is excellent passing from Italy. That's allowing them to run their quick attacks time after time and put huge pressure on Brazil's block.
Well, these fans will be telling themselves that their encouragement is making a crucial difference here and checking into the game for the first time after a points-leading performance yesterday is Agonu. It's a serious weapon to be able to bring off the bench. Over on the third touch, and it remains in bounds. That is terrific play from Italy. The reverse set from Brazil. Cambi didn't know much about it, but she got a contact. Now it goes over, and a delicate touch from Mingardi deceives everybody. Her third point of the match, and Italy go ahead by 2. What a turnaround during the course of that point.
What a very good double substitution. Suspicions that might have been a carry from Danesi as she played it off the block. But then the roll shot right in front of 3 waiting players, none of whom wanted to take it. Mingardi gets the point. Italy have a 2-point lead.
Swelling with the service reception. Oh, there's no bringing that one back, and didn't Adi know it? As soon as she landed, she was spinning on her heels and celebrating that one.
Good ball in. Middle's an option. And then Adi Biel is able to spin that one past Danesi with no trouble at all.
So it's a 1-point set yet again. Adi takes a seat on the bench. Having produced 3 points in the game so far.
Macris has come on to serve for her.
So Di Gennaro with the reception. Cross-court spike is out of bounds, and we are dead level at 21 points apiece. Well, which team will be able to string some points together, or are we going to go to 2 clear points?
This is all about which player, which team can hold their nerve, not think about the score, just do what they do time and time again.
Seemingly introducing some levity during the course of that timeout, keeping things light, keeping the players just in a period of enjoyment, rather than getting too concerned about the status on the scoreboard. They can carry that relaxed air out onto court. Well, that will no doubt help them to play with freedom.
You want as little pressure on you as possible, and in the main, most pressure that comes on you as an athlete at this level is put on by yourself. The ability to deal with that is key. Just having a quick look at the bench then, some notable absentees for Italy. It appears that Pietrini 14 and Lubian 15 aren't involved in this game.
Oh, that's a terrific block at the net, and Danesi is decisive once again. She's only been credited with 1 stuffed block, but she's been in the vicinity of so many of the good things that Italy are producing. No doubt about that one.
Really good lining up by Mingardi and allowing Danesi to come in, close the gap between them, and it's off both of them. Final touch coming off Danesi to go down and give Italy the point.
Good dig in the backcourt by Mingardi, but then it can't be kept in play by Italy. Only could find the antenna, and we're all square at 22. Big block lands in bounds, and it's Anna Beatriz who now gives the opportunity to Brazil for a set point.
Italy it is who call the timeout.
Calm and play volleyball. Well, both sets of teams doing a terrific job of keeping their composure deep into this third set. But it's Brazil who have taken the last 2 points to edge ahead by one. Monique serving now as Brazil go in search of set point.
Roberta's gone off. Mara has come in to replace her. That is an out-and-out blocking substitution here for Brazil as they try and stop whatever Italy can mount from side out. No setter on court for Brazil. If it's popped up in the air, it's going to have to rely on Gabby, most likely number 10, to keep the ball in play for someone to have a swing. And equally, no libero on court either for Brazil. So this is going to be a real test of their mental strength here, as well as their physical ability.
And it reaps dividends instantly, because Brazil bring up set point courtesy of a brilliant stuff block at the net. And they'll look to take this at the first opportunity with a 2-point cushion.
This is good play, putting Mara over on the left-hand side of court to deal with Igonu. So a big blocker against a big hitter.
So set point as Monique prepares to serve. It's deep, it's elected to be played by Mingardi. Oh, and back-to-back brilliant blocks from Brazil. This time from Amanda. And Brazil take an absolutely classic first set by 3. 25-22 in the final analysis. Just under 30 minutes on court, and the level of play from the opening serve was incredibly high throughout.
What a fantastic finish, and smart play by Brazil and by Guimarães to bring Mara in. Not only that, to put her on the left side, switch Amanda out to the other side, and then that meant Italy didn't go to Igonu. So their biggest weapon they didn't want to go to because they was worried about the big block that might be coming, and it's paid right into Brazil's hands. A breathtaking first set. And we can have a look at the highlights. So the tale from the first set. What a thrilling first set. Regardless of what the stats tell us, it was just amazing. And the most important thing that's jumping out is Brazil's 7 blocks. That really was the difference for them, given the fact that actually technically Italy have a better blocking setup than Brazil do. But that being said, it's worked. Italy have the opening set courtesy of those 5 extra blocks. This is where Brazil were hitting the ball about the heights points across the net that they were looking to. You can see a couple in the middle, and then the ball being spread wide to go to the wing attackers. And this is where the balls that were hit that went down the line and then cross court. Most of them were going cross court in that particular scenario. And for those of you wondering why Pietrini and Lubian are not playing for Italy, well, they have been recalled to the under-18 national team, actually playing down a level, but because Italy can't qualify through to the finals, they've been released to go and represent their country at under-18 level, where they will be a huge bonus for Italy in that upcoming competition.
There's a Mexican wave taking place here in southern Italy. The fans are having an absolutely fantastic time. And they're hoping that this energy, this encouragement that they're sending down from the stands will transfer into an Italian victory. As Italy get the second set underway, they've conceded the first. Di Gennaro with the initial reception of the ball that came back from Brazil. Swelling the libero called into play for Brazil. Oh, terrific save ultimately by Monique. She got down low. The ball's gone back over. Italy on the front foot though. Terrific save by Swelling, the Brazilian libero. Now the ball has landed out of bounds and it's point to Brazil. What a recovery from Brazil, because they were stretched during the course of that point, but they take it.
Italy did not play to the whistle. They were thinking that it was done and dusted. They were then out of position. There were a couple of transitions, but great finish by Roberta to get it off the block and out of play.
So Brazil take the first point. Di Gennaro, the libero, with the reception of serve and a little bit of miscommunication.
It was a ball that wasn't quick enough to go to the middle. The distance was a good 4 meters. It needed to be twice that speed by Malinov in order for Chiocella to be in the air to receive the ball in time. Because it took so long, Chiocella's on her way down and then couldn't make contact with it.
So the reverse set, Ortolani produces the point because the block from Anna Beatriz, rather frustratingly from her point of view, has gone out of bounds.
Travelling laterally, didn't finish the block, still moving. Watch as she goes up, she's reaching, she's travelling that way, and then she's trying to bring her hands back to guide the ball in, and that was all after it actually come off of her forearms.
Saved by Amanda, pushed over by Brazil. That brings a diving save from Malinov. Now Italy got to recover here, they do so. Pushed over rather gently, which will give Brazil time to set. And Amanda took full advantage. The set from her captain, Roberta.
Ortolani a little disappointed that that one went right through her arms. She's saying from her body language she didn't close properly.
So dug out in the backcourt by Gabby. Amanda with the cross-court spike. Well saved by Di Gennaro. Must go over on this contact from Italy. Roberta again sets up the backcourt spike, but Gabby can't execute.
Gabby will be looking at Anna Beatriz to say, you're not supposed to stand and watch, you're supposed to be involved and covering as I'm hitting. Slide behind, bottom of your picture, Anna Beatriz has just stood watching and it comes to right where she is. And instead of being ready to cover, it's hit the floor in front of her.
So Italy back to within one. Swelling. The libero receives serve. That's a desperate diving save from Ortolani, which is a successful one. Gabby with the dig in the backcourt. Flying in from the sideline is Amanda. Clever contact over on the second time from Roberta. Italy respond and react well. But finally they can't keep it alive. Anna Beatriz with the touch. That edges Brazil ahead by 2.
Clever play from Anna Beatriz, the ball right on to the sideline. Just out of the reach of Di Gennaro.
So Amanda with the serve. That idiosyncratic service action. Over on a second contact from Italy. Brazil were hit to it, and then there's contact from the Italian block at the net. There's confirmation. Point in favour of Brazil.
Gabby was only ever looking to go off of the hands. She never, at any point here, if you watch as she gets this ball, she knows it's a little bit tight, it's a little bit inside. She's just looking high hand. She hit up on the ball into the top of the block.
Gardy sees her attempted spike sent back. It's ultimately a point-winning play because the rebound goes out of bounds. Well watched by De Gennaro. Again, it's just a moment of frustration for Anna Beatriz, not executing the block as she intended. Terrific serve, well dealt with by Gabby, but it's gone over on the first contact. Now Italy with time to set, but they can only push it over rather forcefully deep into the backcourt. Gabby with a delicate touch, and despite the last-ditch dive from De Gennaro, it is point to Brazil. They go ahead by 3, equaling their largest lead of this second set.
Nice up by Monique. And it's one of those ones where, as a blocker, you've got to not chase after the ball because you've taken it away from your defenders. If there's a tip or a roll shot and you're the blocker, just keep your hands where they should be and then let the defenders do the work around it. The aim of a tip, certainly going into the hands, is to try and get you to reach after that ball, to take it away from where your defenders are playing behind you.
Beatriz with a seat on the bench. Oh, quick adjustment. My goodness, how athletic was that? Because in the course of her hang time, Addy adjusted from overhead to underhand and somehow got the ball over the net. Extraordinary.
Without, as well, being called for a carry. When she's let it drift, she's a right-hander, and she couldn't hit it with her right, she's let it drift and really cleverly played it with her left hand to get it over the net.
Well, Italy get that one over, courtesy of some rather fortuitous ricochets. And they've come away with that point.
We got a very good view then. We had 2 players going wide. We had Addy coming in the middle and then Amanda getting ready to come behind her on the second tempo on the backcourt. But the set was right to where the captain was waiting, and she's just committed, got her hands across the net already, and then that ball went down even quicker than it went into Addy's hands.
Chiricello. Monstrous block at the net. Oh, that is clever, but is it in bounds? No, it isn't. Gabby just waited for the blockers to come back down to earth.
See, she goes up straight away with the hand, knowing that there's no spike coming, and then as she's tried to tip it over the block, didn't get her angles right.
Backcourt spike is dealt with by Amanda. And the follow-up backcourt spike is deflected at the net, and it is point to Brazil. They arrive at the 8-point total to bring up the first technical timeout of this second set, and they do so with a 2-point cushion.
This was the last play. Roberta out nice and wide, and then that again, Monique looking for hands as the ball was a little bit in front of her. She gets it off of the hands of Ortolani. So it's second point. So Slovan capturing the emotion we're witnessing here in Emily. Fantastic game of volleyball.
Even in this era of everyone having a camera, still a moment of excitement when people see themselves up on the Jumbotron in an arena. Very much the case here. Well, the point has gone in favor of Brazil.
Setter's back row, Malinov, she's reached up to play the ball above the height of the net. She's done so on the side of Brazil. She's not allowed to do that.
Gabby with the serve. Janara with the reception. Good save by Amanda. What a save in the backcourt by Malinov. The backcourt spike brings Gabby into play. Then it's set up for the wing attack, and that is punched down emphatically by Amanda.
De Janeiro was guessing the libero as Amanda has this spike cross court. De Janeiro running off to her right where she thinks the ball is going to go instead of, as Amanda jumps. De Janeiro holding her ground and then being ready to play the ball once she sees where it goes. Very nice spike by Amanda.
So for the first time in this second set, the team has strung together 3 points in a row. That is how Brazil eked out this 4-point advantage, but it's short-lived.
Mingadi's gone off and Igonu has come on. Igonu is an opposite player, but she's come on from Mingadi as an outside hitter, and she's just passed the ball in. I've never seen her pass the ball in. She's always just been a big opposite player. That was why Ortolani was going up and saying well done. So a new position here for Igonu, certainly at international level anyway.
Ball into action on the block there, but neither her nor her teammate Chirichella could get a hand on that one. The cross-court kill is a point-winning play for Brazil.
Even with a huge block against it, Monik's able to put it away cross-court.
Block at the net. Sees the rebound, keep Brazil in the point, but then Gabby flying in. Demonstrating her soccer skills after failing to execute that backcourt spike.
This is where Brazil need to be careful. The quicker they run those types of plays that are too close to where Italy have got their block set up, the more chances are Italy are going to make blocks, and that's what happened with Gabby. She's run that right in to where the middle block was already waiting and didn't have to move.
Swellen with the diving first contact, but ultimately it's in vain. It's an unreturnable serve from the Italian captain. And it closes the gap back to 3. Excuse me, make it 2. Back-to-back points secured by Italy.
It's a ball that probably Gabby should have taken. Suellen had too many steps to make up to get the pass.
Well, that's almost a mirror image. A different player made contact, but the ricochet went off in the same direction, and the outcome is the same. Back-to-back aces from the Italian captain bring her team back to within 1.
Timeout called by Brazil after those 2 quick points for Italy. Suellen getting aced, and then Amanda getting aced. Watch Amanda. She sees the ball coming to her, but doesn't take a big enough step, and then leads with her body, which then gets turned, and then she's off balance trying to make that pass, and ultimately digs it into the crowd. When you want to pass the ball to the left or to the right, you want to take a big step, and ideally, when you're passing the ball in volleyball, it's in between your knees. So even if you take a step to the left, you take a step to the left, that's slightly in front of you, so you're in a strong position. The minute you end up with your arm coming level to your body by your hips, you're going to be very weak, and even the impact of the ball can turn you. It's difficult to control.
So Chirichella, joint leading scorer for her team. Those pair of aces. Amanda sees her spike come back. Brazil sets Amanda up once again, and once more it's repelled into center court. This time a reverse set. What blocking from Italy! That is absolutely outstanding. Repelling Brazil's spike attacks time and time again, and it's the block that has secured the point. Danesi in perfect position.
First the door was shut, then it was locked, and then the deadbolt went on. There was definitely no way it was coming back. Although Amanda stood in the back row after having a couple of swings, was then watching the next one, thinking, okay, we'll get it done now, and wasn't covering.
So we're all square at 11 points apiece. Italy with 4 unanswered points. Right back in this second set. Oh my goodness, well, sent to the backcourt, spent to the court, down the sideline. I think it was the Italian captain, Chiricella, who caught this one.
Wasn't a bad dig, actually. She got under it, just unfortunately for her, wouldn't stay in court. There was hardly any room for Gonic to work. That was a super spike from her.
Gonu brings about the deep dig from Gabby. Oh, but the block once again produced by Danesi, combining with Ortolani. And Danesi is proving unpassable at the moment.
Amanda must have thought she had a gap between Ortolani and Danesi to go into, but it was soon closed down by Danesi.
Oh, that is sensational from Di Gennaro, the libero. Digging out the ball, getting it over the net, and it lands in bounds.
Just brilliant. Rosanti enjoying that one. The libero doing her job, gets under the ball, and a little bit of luck as it comes over and then lands on the floor, and Amanda saying, oh, come on, someone make a dig.
Or Italy with back-to-back points take a 2-point lead. What a shift in momentum. Gonu off the bench and making a real impact in areas other than just her powerful, precise hitting.
Normally we see her blocking on the right-hand side of court, getting her first block here in Italy on the left side.
Oh, a delicate touch from Gonu, who has set this place alight, serving as a real spark plug coming off the bench for Italy. And they have taken a 3-point lead after stringing together 4 points without reply.
Despite the best efforts of Monique and Amanda, the ball hits the floor. Gonu showing she's not just about jumping high and hitting hard. She does have other strings to her bow.
Remember, we have yet to see an appearance from Tandara in this match for Brazil. Checking in for the first time is Rosa Maria. Really strong outing for her yesterday with 18 points against Thailand to lead her team in scoring.
Rosa Maria is normally an outside hitter, and we would have expected Tandara to come in actually for Roberta as the opposite, but for whatever reason she's being rested.
Oh, contact at the net from Italy, and Rosa Maria, instant impact off the bench, rallying her teammates as they close the gap back to 2.
Both teams now playing with players out of their normal playing positions. Rosa Maria as an opposite for Brazil, and Gonu as an outside hitter for Italy.
Amanda with the serve. Gonu with a delicate touch, and it's an action replay. Twice in succession from the hand of Gonu, who had just drifted over the net and secured the point for a team.
Brazil saw this was coming. They got 3 blockers up, which is fine, but then the backcourt didn't shift round. The libero, Sue Ellen, who's defending at position 5, didn't come and cover the space that was then created when Rosa Maria went in to help out at the block.
Di Gennaro produced a point-winning play, which is an absolute rarity for a libero.
And it's another good question as to who gets the stat for that, who gets the point for that, because the liberos are defensive specialists and they're not allowed to attack. So does it go down as an unforced error for Brazil, or does it go down as an attack point for De Janeiro? One thing's for sure, though, Italy glad to have taken the point.
So Agonu with the jump spike serve, and she is absolutely irresistible at the moment. Everything she touches is turning into a point-winning play for Italy, and they are ahead by 4. An unreturnable serve at high speed.
It was a huge serve. Amanda late to react. Sue Ellen couldn't help out. Considering that's her first serve of this match. It's incredible.
Gabby with a difficult reception, and Rosa Maria with the spike. Brazil closed the deficit to 3.
Just get the feeling for Tandara not to have come on court, that she's not going to come on court at all in this game, and that she's being rested as a precaution for the finals to come in China. She has carried a huge hitting load for Brazil in this VNL so far.
Difficult shot ultimately, because Rosa Maria was reaching behind her. Gabby sees it, turn back, and it's Chiricella, the Italian captain, with her second clean stuff block. 7 points in the game for her now.
No way through for Brazil. Excellent blocking. Brazil call the timeout.
When you consider that the score was tied at 12 points apiece, there's a 7-2 run in favor of Italy since that point. Nessie with the serve. Quick thinking from Malinov. Bossetti pushes it over.
Adi knew nothing about that. That's just come off of her right hand as she was looking somewhere else, as she tried to make a block and it came back over. But great play by Italy to actually see what was going on and take full advantage. Very good finish by Ortolani to go to the line. Substitution's been reversed by Brazil. Berta's back on, Monique is back on.
Oh, what a dig by Ortolani. Agonu with the touch, then a second one as it came back in her direction. Ortolani firing it down the net. Monique with the deep save, pushed over by Gabby. Italy now with time to set. Bossetti puts it beyond the baseline, and Brazil's scrambling and tenacity is rewarded because they take the point to close the gap to 5.
Fine defending by Ortolani on what was a free net, so there'll be a little bit of afters for that, a little bit of bragging rights for Ortolani as Gabby is dug on a free hit. But unfortunately though for Italy, they never really got another really good opportunity to put the ball away because it was touched in the block, which slowed it down. And then when they got their next chance, Bossetti went too early, the ball was a little bit too high, she's had to check what she's doing, and she's had a miss-hit as a result, giving Brazil the point.
So Roberta preparing to serve, her team are trailing by 5 in this second set. Oh, Ortolani absolutely flying, and the 6-point advantage restored once again.
Top swing by Ortolani.
Dig from Swellen, then back into position to push it over. How about that for a spike from Italy, but the ball remains in play, and quick footwork, but it goes under the net from Italy.
Good reactions by Addy, and she was linked into the play, so she was turning to face Suellen, which meant she was able to make that retrieve. Tandara, as we can see, just watching. Well, not unlikely that she will play in this game.
Talani with the spike, diving save by the libero Suellen. Malinov with the initial dig. Oh, that is fantastic blocking at the net, and look at the celebration it elicits from Addy, because that was head-to-head with one of the biggest hitters in volleyball. And it was Addy who came out on top, sending back that spike from Egonu.
That's why Brazil have called the timeout. They don't want Brazil to get any more points. They don't want them to get any confidence or any momentum.
Suellen going to ground quickly. And this was Egonu. She was met head-on by a Brazilian trio. The decisive contact produced by Addy. The second stuff block of the game, taking her to 5 points in total. So Gabby with the serve. De Gennaro with the reception. Quick hands by Roberta to dig that one. Gabby with the backcourt push. De Gennaro with the set out wide. And it's a point-winning play by Bossetti, her 5th clean kill of the game. Italy edged closer towards the winning total.
Bossetti getting that between the arms of Addy, saying it just pinballed off of them, which it did.
Brazil not letting Italy run away with this one. The gap back to 4. Remember, Italy just 3 points away from taking this second set. They went on a massive run. 2 4-point runs in quick succession. The foundation of this advantage. What a dig off the spike from Egonu. And it's placed high, and Amanda secured the point for Brazil. Edge back to within 3.
That's a fantastic set from Ana Beatriz, jump setting. She's a middle blocker, and she's put up a lovely ball off of what is a fantastic dig. Brilliant set, and then great block out from Amanda.
Well played by De Gennaro. Ultimately, Egonu, the acute angle on that one, leaving Brazil scattered across the court.
Malinov did extremely well to get this ball up for Egonu to have a hit. She's had to get in tight to the net, not touch the net, and make the set. And then Egonu does the rest.
Chiricello with the serve, Gabby with the difficult service reception, Amanda with the cross-court kill, and it's an effective one. So Italy unable to bring up set point. So Brazil back to within 3. Monique preparing to serve, 10 points. Game so far, leads her team in scoring. Oh, is that in or out? Well, it's point to Italy to bring up set point. Beautiful cross-court play from Ortolani, but Brazil have launched a challenge.
Everybody was signalling for it to be in. Ortolani's first reaction was it was in. It did land around about the feet of where Guimarães was stood. But that does mean the ball was then hiding the sideline as he looked at it. So from his point of view, he may well have thought it was in. Hawkeye will tell us very, very shortly. The longer it takes, suggests that the decision's not quite such an easy one to make. It's miles in.
Wow.
I think that was a cheeky little timeout that Brazil have taken by using the challenge system just to give them a breather here.
So set point for Italy. Ortolani with the serve. 9 points in the game for her so far. Is that an ace? Oh, yes, it is. What a way to secure the second set. Producing a serve that dipped dramatically on his final moments of flight to bite the baseline, land inbounds, and give Italy set number 2 by a score of 25 points to 20. We're all square at 1 set apiece, and these fans absolutely ecstatic. We are back at parity, and you'd think that they're just won the game. There's a long way to go because we are all square here in southern Italy. Absolutely wonderful scenes. And the Italian team must take so much confidence, not only from their performance, but from the passionate support they're receiving from these supporters here. So a look at the highlights then from that second set.
Stats from that last set. Italy this time out blocking Brazil on the 6-1. And a big turnaround from the first set where Brazil outblocked Italy. 4 service aces, really helping their cause. Even though Brazil did outspike Italy by 6 points, it was Italy's defense that came to the fore.
Well, the atmosphere has been enthusiastic since the very start. And now that they've just witnessed Italy square things up at 1 set apiece, it has been cranked up a level once again. None of Brazil's last 6 matches have finished in straight sets. 3 of their first 8 matches in this VNL campaign finished in straight sets, 3-0. 6 of Italy's 9 wins have been of the straight sets variety. So it's Italy going in search of their 8th consecutive win, something of a rarity for them. They'll be doing so something other than straight sets. pointed out at the start of this game, it's nothing new to Brazil. It's they who are serving to start set number 3. We're all square at 1 set apiece, and it's Italy who continue to ride the wave of momentum. They take the first point off set number 3.
Mingardi's come back on for Italy, and Igonu is now on the bench. That's the only changes he had made for this third set. Rosa Maria is in for Brazil. She's in as an outside hitter, and Gabby is on the bench. Samantha and Co get the ball back. They side out straight away.
So Bossetti receives serve. Towering spike from Ortolani. Amanda got beneath it but couldn't control the touch. Ortolani leading all scorers with 11. Swelling with the service reception. Oh, that's well set up and ultimately terrifically put away. Addy with the absolute pile driver of a spike.
Good ball in from Suellen, and then almost a dart throw from Roberta to Addy. Nice and quick for Addy to put the ball away.
So it's Addy with the serve now. Bossetti receives a rather difficult one. The attempted spike at the net from Bossetti, well behind the baseline.
The ball that came at Bossetti off of the serve attacked her high, and instead of taking a step to the side to create some space, she actually moved backwards, which was why she was in trouble. That was then compounded by Mingardi with her swing at the net.
Bossetti, Italy take the point on that occasion. It's Danesi who secures it.
Malinov was arching her back early to suggest she was going behind. So great swing by Danesi to get it past Brazil's block.
And just down low to receive serve. What a put away from Rosa Maria. My goodness, she got some depth on that penetration. Brazil edge ahead by 1.
Lots of room cross court to work with off of that great set by Roberta.
Must go over on his contact. Bumped over gently by Bossetti. And that left Italy comparative disarray, and it was exploited by Anna Beatriz going cross court for the kill.
Gennaro in quickly. But it was a free ball that came over, and then Anna Beatriz on the slide behind, hitting Italy's defence. Frustration for De Janeiro, for Malinov, as she made the dig. Didn't come back where she wanted to. She sent a slap of the net in frustration.
So this is the largest lead of the early stages of the third set. Gennaro with the set. Bossetti could only find the net, or the blockers, excuse me, as she attempted to go over the net. Having just vacated that space, that's where the ball came back. Brazil take the point to eke out a 4-point lead. Terrific hitting down the sideline from Rosa Maria, and how deep was that set? My goodness. Going practically 2/3 of the court out to the flank, and Rosa Maria took advantage of that perfectly placed ball.
Not a lot of room to work with to the line, but just enough. And this is a massive lead now for Brazil at the first technical timeout.
Some of the myriad sights evident so far. Such a range of emotions have been on display. Both teams have enjoyed their successes. That's why we're all square at 1 set apiece, but it's Brazil who have started this third set more brightly. They have a 5-point lead. This juncture of the first technical timeout. So it's Monique preparing to serve. Brazil are going to run of 5 successive points. Oh, look at that for a joust at the net. My goodness. Anna Beatrice going head to head. And coming out on top, she locked horns with Malinov.
Anna Beatrice with a longer reach. She was able to wait a little bit longer, then push last. And it is the player that touches the ball last will win the joust.
So 6 successive points now. Brazil with a 6-point lead, make that 7, and that is easy pickings at the net. Everything going right for Brazil, with Mazzetti making substitutions.
Straight setting substitution as Malinov goes off, and Camby comes in to replace her.
Gone with the reception again. It produces as a head-to-head joust at the net. Italy keep themselves in the point with that deep spike, but Rosa Maria again just finding the vacant space on court with the cross-court kill. This is a procession being produced by Brazil at present. Mazzetti calling another timeout.
This is the tightrope that you walk at international level in volleyball. Always teetering between being brilliant and then losing a whole bunch of points. We saw the last set with Italy winning it by 5, and they were flying. They couldn't be stopped at the net. Now they can't seem to find their way past Brazil's block, past Brazil's defense. And this is in part due to very good serving from Brazil, making it difficult for Italy to bring the ball back.
Gennaro with another difficult reception of serve. Now they found the sideline. Yes, they have. So that stems the run of unanswered points at 8. And Italy finally get a point on the board.
So Mingadi's gone off, and Igano's come back into the action.
Reverse set. Brings up a backcourt spike from Monique. Another joust at the net. Backcourt spike from Igano is kept alive. Can Brazil get it over? Yes, they do. What an extraordinary play, but illegally so.
Unfortunately, it's come back outside of the red and white pole you can see in front of the referee. It has to come back in court, and in court is inside the red and white poles. The line judge saying that it came back over, but outside. Good chase, and then as it's brought back off of the spike, it was outside of the court.
Well, Italy's run of points is comparatively short-lived. After reducing a deficit to 6, it now stands at 7 once again. Rosa Maria prepares to serve. Gonu with the service reception. And good depth on that put away from the Italian captain. Chiricella moves to 9 points in the game. It's her 5th clean kill. Serve from Cambi. Difficult reception from Amanda, but put away. But it kept alive by Italy. Now Gonu just wide of the sideline. When she entered the fray in the second set, she could do little wrong. Precision just evading her on that was what was a difficult attempt. So the lead back to 7 for Brazil. With the service error, Brazil's leading scorer unable to add to her total as she went for the baseline.
Very good lead by Gonu, who's not used to playing in this position. She hasn't been playing it internationally. Knew that ball was going long.
Swellen with the overhanded reception of the block. And his point in favour of Italy.
Frustration for Guimarães. He's not going to challenge this one. Just an error from Amanda. She doesn't find the block, and it simply doesn't hit the court.
Athletic dive by Roberta. It has to be pushed over by Brazil on the 3rd contact. Gonu. Now that's what she's been doing all second set, and she's rediscovered her groove here in set number 3.
Now that's what you call spiking. Was an incredible hit. What a versatile player she is proving to be for Italy.
Hasn't entered the fray here. This final 4 match. 4-19. This game still very much in the balance. She may well be being rested for the finals in China.
This is that spike right over the head of Amanda and still in court and over the top of Addy. Phenomenal hitting from Gonu.
Service error from Bossetti. So Italy's lead, Brazil's lead back out to 5 after Italy produced 3 points without reply. So Roberta preparing to serve. Good blocking from Italy. And once again, and this time it's emphatic, and it's Gonu who is in the mix once more. Back on the boil, and Italy continuing to cling on and keep Brazil in their sights.
Fabulous block right across the net. Monique had nowhere to go.
Serve clips the net cord. Cross court kill is repelled once again. Danesi. Absolutely brilliant blocking.
She's laughing because she knows she got really lucky with this one. She was so late and was so far off the net as she makes this block, but somehow it still comes over. As you can see, she was miles away from it, but just got her hands in a lucky spot for Italy to have the point.
gap has been as large as 8. So Italy have fought back well to get as close as 3. Currently stands at 4 with that service error. Good blocking from Brazil on this occasion, but quick thinking from Italy. Point to Brazil, though. Double hit from the Italians on their side of the net.
Danesi went up to play this. She got a little bit unsure of what she was going to do and how she was going to do it. Instead of volleying it, she tries to volley it over and made a bit of a mess of it. Technical timeout, Brazil leading by 5. Not only that, the double touch is volleyed into the antenna as well, so immediately it's out of play. Well, the players are wearing that padding, well, not really padding, but it used to be it was long sleeves and players like that, but now the teams are wearing short sleeves. The reason they've got those sleeves on is just to protect from the sting of the ball. You've got someone like Igonu hitting the ball at you at over 100 kilometres an hour, it stings. And also, there is another issue as well. In a hot venue, that's going to stop the perspiration getting on your forearms, which then gets transferred to the ball. And when the setter has to play it, it can be difficult because there's perspiration on the ball. So it also reduces that element.
So blocking at the net, Italy battle hard to keep it in bounds, but they can't do so effectively. Brazil take the first point after the resumption. The interval of the second technical timeout. So Italy rallied magnificently to close back to within 3 after trailing by 8. But straight away after the second technical timeout, Rossetti has called another timeout to get their tactics reset. Currently trailing by 6. Brazil have taken 3 points without reply from the Azzurri. Rossetti receives serve. Igonu sends Suellen clattering to the court. Brazil remain within the points. Oh, but there's complete miscommunication between Italy. Danesi looking at it. Igonu looks as though she was lining up a run. Ultimately, nobody played it, point in favor of Brazil after they took another timeout.
It was a poor error to make, really, but you can understand why, because the ball was set high and inside, but Danesi wants a quick ball, so she thinks, oh, it's not for me. It goes past her, but only just, and then Igonu said, well, it's never going to get to me. And that's why it's hit the floor.
Forceful push from Igonu. Beautiful cross-court hitting from Rosa Maria. Good save by De Gennaro, and Igonu puts that one beyond the baseline. The lead is out to 8. For the second time in this third set. So despite all of Italy's brilliant play and battling qualities, they are trailing once again after Brazil weathered that storm in the middle phase of this third set.
It's a wonderful pickup by De Gennaro, a great spike from Brazil. Italy getting it into transition, had the chance to have a swing on it, challenge that one. And we were fortunate enough, we can see this is nowhere near anybody. It's going to be closer to the camera than it is to any of the players. But again, just a delay in play really for Italy here as they try and find some way back into this one.
So Amanda preparing to serve. Brazil looking for their largest lead of this third set so far. Oh, what a brilliant block, and the index finger pointed skyward from Adi, because once again in a one-on-one duel with Agonu, it is Adi who has come out on top.
It's just letting Agonu know as well that, yeah, I've got you here, making a huge celebration and quieting down the crowd here as well in southern Italy.
So Amanda with the serve, Bossetti receives. Agonu sees her block ultimately dug out by Rosa Maria, but then a brilliant block at the net. Danesi and Agonu in combination, and that gives the Italian home fans something to cheer about.
It's a nice play from Agonu as well. She's just been blocked, then she got dug, and then she comes back and makes a block of her own. Way through for Monique. That one was pinballing around the Brazilian team. Good blocking by Danesi.
Good reception of a difficult serve by Suellen, and what a point produced. Adi continues to remain in the ascendancy.
Really good set from Roberta, nice and quick, firing it into Adi, who was able to hit in rhythm.
So Agonu with the overhanded reception and caught into play for the kill. Blocked in the backcourt, but Brazil, well, nobody was there to bail out the backcourt dig, which was an effective one, or at least it appeared to be.
Anna Beatrice had taken Monique out of the play here. She makes the block, clatters into her. They're both now nowhere near going back into the middle of court to help play defense. Amanda couldn't get there either.
So Agonu's blistering jump spike serve. Some points on the board for a team here. No, it can only find the net.
She didn't hit through the ball with topspin. She's tried to turn it slightly to the line. She's done that, dropped her thumb. She hasn't hit the ball properly, which is why it's ended up in the net.
Terrific hitting from the flank from Bossetti. Italy are going to have to go on a run of points, as Brazil have done twice in this third set. If they hope to secure this one, they'll believe that they can do it. Brazil, of course, will have other ideas. They're just 3 points away from taking this third set. Italy are going to make them earn it. The numbers on Bossetti through the match so far, and an unreturnable serve will help their cause no end. As Italy close to within sixth. So Danesi, that unreturnable serve. Put in the firing line by Monique. Brazil will now be looking to bring up set point. They extend their lead to 7 once again.
Very good swing this by Rosa Maria, by Monique, getting it past the block.
So Rosa Maria brings about the service dig. Immediately, Italy celebrate because they claim the point.
Goes back off. She came on to do some blocking. Ball on the other side of the net, the other side of the court to where she was. judgment from Macris, thinking it was going to go wide.
Swellen with the service reception. And the reverse set produces the kill for, sets up the kill for Ana Beatriz, and it brings up set point for Brazil. So can Brazil take it at the first opportunity? It's the most comfortable margin we've seen so far. And what a way to bring it up, and you don't have to ask who was in the mix. It was Adi in combination with her captain Roberta. And Brazil take the third set at a comparative canter, 25 points to 17, the widest margin so far. And they now lead 2-1.
Good block from Roberta, lining up Ortolani, taking away the line. Considering she was going to be substituted out for Mara, but they got it too late, so Mara had to go and sit back down again. Roberta showing that she can block just as good when required.
So that is how things stand. 90 minutes on court as we take a look at the highlights from that third set.
Check out the stats from that last set. Blocking, slightly more parity between the teams. Brazil just edging ahead by 2. Italy getting an ace serve. So in the context of those 2 skills, Brazil just 1 ahead. Brazil out attacking Italy by 1, but it was the opponent's errors. Italy gave Brazil 9 points, whereas Brazil only gave Italy 3 points from mistakes. A very tidy set from Brazil. This is where the serves were placed by Brazil in the set. As you can see, most of it has gone over to where we would expect it to, and that is over to where the front court swing attacker is, and also where the libero is, over on that side where you're trying to really make it difficult for the front court outside hitter, because they have to pass the ball, then they have to go and get ready to attack. So you need really good mental discipline as well as physical ability to be able to do that consistently throughout a set and indeed a match. Amanda, one of those players, and her stats looking pretty good so far for her. 8 points, a couple of blocks. Rosa Maria with 5 attack points so far, nothing else for her at the moment.
So Italy, if they hope to prevail in this match and maintain a perfect record here in pool 19, they're going to have to go the 5-set distance. No strangers to doing that. But it's Brazil who take the first point of this 4th set. Set that they're hoping will be the decisive set. Service error from the Brazilian captain. This is all square at 1. opposite number. Chiricello will prepare to serve. Well, captains matching one another in that regard, reciprocating. The error on the other side of the net. Brazil edge ahead by one once again. What a dig, my goodness, but no way could Amanda control the contact. Got underneath it. Contact was true enough, but it ricocheted off. And find its way into the stands. So Watalani ties things up at 2. One is down, which means it's an unreturnable serve, a service ace. Italy take the lead for the first time in the early stages of this 4th set.
Really good serve from Ortolani. Drops so quickly off the jump float serve, catching Amanda by surprise.
So Suellen with the service reception on this occasion. Oh, Monique tried to touch it over the net. Malinov in the vicinity at the net with her Italian teammates.
It's a roll shot coming from Monique. She's just not rolled it high enough, and for once Malinov going in to help out, making that triple block, and a really important one as well to send it straight back down.
Well, a pair of unreturnable serves produced by Ortolani during this service run.
Well, it's quite purely and simply a case of magic ends. That's all that can be said, because this is just incredible how suddenly Brazil are just falling to bits in the same way Italy did, in the same way Brazil did when they've all been on that side of the court. It certainly used to be, actually. It was interestingly enough, when the volleyball was white, you would be in certain sports halls, and then depending on what was at the end of the hall, it made it very difficult to see the ball. That was then why the introduction of the colours, and ultimately the colour we have now, so it doesn't get lost, you can see it. And really, in these venues, the lighting is such and everything's set up that it's very difficult that anything is going to affect the flight of the ball or what you're seeing, depending on where you are. So, but just these things happen. Suddenly you're good, and then suddenly you're not.
Amanda with a difficult service reception. Adi's block is kept alive by, Adi's spike is kept alive by Italy, but that one from Agonu most certainly isn't. And it's a 4-point advantage for Italy. They've gone down 2-1 in the early stages.
Agonu straight over the top of the block.
Suellen's service reception was perilously close to the net. Bossetti got a touch on it, hurtling after it is Malinov. She keeps it in place, bumped over by Ortolani, but illegally so. But what hustle from Italy.
That was very nice as well, because Malinov goes to play it. Ortolani was going to play it. Malinov must have given her a call, and then Ortolani's just waiting there and saying, okay, just make a touch, because then Ortolani can make the next touch. But it's been given as going outside the antenna. That looked close, it didn't. Well, if it goes over the top of the antenna, it is out, and that's what it did. The antennas go up infinitely. It's an extension of the sideline vertically. And that was missed on the sideline without any block being there for Italy. I think it was who had the swing.
Working against Brazil on that occasion. Italy up by 4 for the second time. What a serve from Agonu. But it's still Brazil who take the point. Monique with the put away.
Well, there's going to be a challenge here because Brazil are celebrating. Yes, we won the point, we won the point. Come on, let's have a hug. While Italy were getting on with playing because they think they made the dig. And therefore, they played it over while Brazil will all stood around having a celebration, and then they just pop the ball back over to land in court. Now, if it has come up, then it's going to be just, well, it will be a bit of an embarrassment here for Brazil because Italy would have got a point with them all just stood around looking at each other and not watching what was going on. So the challenge is whether or not this ball hit the floor when Brazil had the spike. I mean, even for the camera crew as well, because they were all celebrating and focusing in on the celebration. And to the first glance, it did look as if it had hit the floor. Say it time and time again, not just in this sport, but every sport you play to the whistle. The referee has the whistle, so he's also having a chat with the challenge team. There's a challenge referee, which is made up of the group of referees that are here over the 3 days that all have a look. It's off the floor. It's toe and floor, so it is down. Brazil were right to celebrate.
Took a while to resolve that one, but the call is correct. So the score is 7-4 in favor of Italy. Monique with the serve, Agonu with the backcourt spike, and there is no getting that one back. What a way to bring up the 8-point total, to bring about technical timeout number 1. Italy are ahead by 4.
Agonu is proving to be one of the very few players in women's volleyball at the elite level who is turning backcourt spikes into front court attacks in the way that she's travelling from behind that baseline. Her contact point is at times just about a metre away from the net. As good as a front court attack. Very, very difficult to deal with. Something we see very often in the men's game. The back attacks are pretty much front court attacks with the height and power and broad jumps they have in men's volleyball. It's certainly not something you see very often in the women's game, and Agonu is one of those few players who can do that.
Well, Agonu has proved to be influential and inspirational figure coming off the bench on this occasion for Italy. Her team are ahead by 4 here in set number 4. Good dig by Ortolani. Kept alive by Malinov. Agonu, oh, that is sensational from Agonu, because Italy was stretched and the ball was just tossed up on a penultimate contact. And Agonu plucked it out of the sky and produced a point-winning play.
Really nice change of position with her hand without turning her body, so kept the height, turned her hand, and was able to roll it to position 1.
And a block at the net from Malinov. That is extraordinary. Ophelia Malinov, just 1.85 meters tall, and she turned that one back, and no wonder she's delighted.
One-on-one as well. They're always that much more enjoyable when you make a block like that.
So it's a 6-point lead for Italy. Brazil with just 4 points on the board after dominating the previous set. And they're now trailing by 7.
Roberta apologises immediately as she was rushed by the pass, and then she made a rash decision. Roberto Guimaraes is trying to calm the team down. He hasn't gone for a timeout just yet. He might do now if that doesn't go their way.
Well, Rosa Maria was intimating that there was a touch, so will Brazil launch a challenge? Yes, indeed they have. So we'll be going to Hawkeye for a definitive decision.
After winning a set to 17 points and being in total control and shutting down Italy's biggest weapon in Gonu, it's as if it never happened. Yes, indeed, that's off the little finger of Malinov. It was a good swing in the end from Rosa Maria. Good challenge by Brazil. And they will not need to have their timeout just yet.
So the gap back to 6. But not for long. Because having rattled off 4 points in a row, Brazil's intervention was a tiny one. Chidicella producing that kill. A wonderful set from Malinov. Swellen with the service reception. Good blocking at the net from Italy. Rosa Maria with the first contact, then pushed over. What a save by De Gennaro. Now can they get it over on his final contact? Big bump from deep on the baseline from Malinov. Malinov into action once again. The set touched over by Bossetti. Athletic save by Swellen, the libero. Malinov into the fray once more, pushed over by the libero, De Gennaro. Italy was stretched, and really it was a laboured reach down to the ground to try and collect that low ball from Agonu. At the conclusion of that lung-busting rally, it is Brazil who take the point.
De Gennaro apologising to her teammates as the opportunity for Italy to take the point was squandered when she decided to volley the ball over from the 3-metre line, and that handed the advantage back to Brazil. After all the hard work that Italy put in, it was indeed Brazil who take the point. Wonderful up from Swellen. And then you think there's an opportunity here, De Gennaro, to go on the pipe, but she's volleyed it straight to where Brazil were waiting. And then it is Amanda who gets it off of the block. And straight away, De Gennaro put her hand up to apologise for making that decision and volleying the ball over.
Well, will that be the play that shifts the momentum in favour of Brazil? Well, they've got to try and take this crowd out of it, because here we're seeing the benefit of home court advantage. It's the most wonderful cacophony of an atmosphere here. Italy are riding it to keep their noses in front here in set number 4 as they look to force a 5th and deciding set. Anna Betruz with the serve, the reception from Agonu. And that is powered down by Ortolani.
Ortolani using all of her experience. A very cool, calm head in this situation. Knows exactly where she needed to put the ball straight away, celebrating with her teammates.
Oh, that's terrific hitting from Monique. 13 clean kills now. Sum total of her side leading haul. Terrific hitting from Bossetti, my goodness.
The neutrals watching this in the arena, those of you watching this wherever you might be watching it from, will be really pleased with the way this one's going. It looks like it's going to go to 5 sets. Both supporters of each teams, it's one in which for Brazil it's heart in the mouth time as they are under the caution. For Italy, it's come on, let's get this done, let's take it to a 5th.
Good dig. Oh, Monique, though, she lost her footing as she tried to get herself back into play. Recovered well, but Italy in control. Amanda sent cannoning to the court. But Brazil take the point. What an extraordinary point.
Monique, having made the dig, had gone onto the floor, and then the ball went back to where she was, and she slipped in her own perspiration, which is why she ended up not being able to have the spike in the first place. This is a mega rally. You watch Monique, 15, she's working hard, makes that dig, goes down, and then as she goes to get up, she's in that spot, slipped on her own perspiration, but did really well to dig it back over. And then super dig from Amanda, and then working the block, Monique, to get the point. It's funny, she had a little look back to say, where did that come from? And it was her sitting on the floor that caused her to fall over again. That's why it's so important that the volunteers come in and clean the perspiration in between points. Good example of what happens when that doesn't get done.
Well, Brazil with back-to-back points for the first time in this fourth set.
Good hang time from Rosa Maria.
So Amanda preparing to serve. Good save by Sualen. She has to get herself back into position quickly. Rosa Maria had to reach for that one. Therefore, it wasn't an effective spike. That one most certainly is. Terrific hitting from Ortolani. Italy extend their advantage to 6 once again. 15-9 is what the score should read.
Danesi it was who kept Anna Beatrice with her to allow Ortolani that one-on-one opportunity. Gabby, having been substituted out earlier in the match, has yet to get a chance to come back onto court.
Well, that one will be a point-winning play. Costetti not able to catch up to the volleyball. And with the 7th clean kill of the match.
This is a huge hit from Addy. She's up, big arm swing, and then straight through the ball.
Delicate touches dealt with effectively by Brazil. Rosa Maria producing the point-winning spike, and Italy have seen their lead whittled down to 4. It's been as large as 7.
There's not a player playing at this level that doesn't have a micro injury of some sort. Shoulder injury is very common. The rotator cuff, the small muscles that are around the shoulder get used extensively, which is why it's really important that you have really good technique at this level in order that you can keep yourself in as good shape as possible.
Ortolani adds another point to her team leading total. 14 clean kills now. Her 18 points. The 18 points that she's amassed. Italy bring up technical timeout number 2 with a 5-point lead. Well, the fans have secured a ticket for the action here. Witnessing something that we'll remember for a very long time now. Can they get the icing on the cake and see a host nation victory? This is a really competitive encounter. Brazil will want to conclude it here in set number 4, but trailing by 5 as we go into the final third of this 4th set, when it looks as though Italy will be forcing a 5th and deciding set, led by Ortolani, who's having a brilliant 5th set to add to the strong play she's produced all game.
She's been very solid, very consistent, Ortolani.
Terrific reception by Amanda. That's a difficult serve to deal with. Ortolani Sees her contact go beyond the sideline. Agonu again, making life difficult for Suellen. A big bump over the net from Brazil. De Janeiro with the initial contact. Delicate touch from Bossetti. Rosa Maria with an absolute blast of a spike. Goes over now from Italy, but it's repelled by a big stuff block at the net. Brazil take the point at the conclusion of that lengthy rally.
It was good work from Italy. Initially, they got Brazil to give them a free ball. It was hoisted very high, and then it wasn't a really good ball in by De Janeiro. She passed it so tight to the net that Malinov was struggling then to find a decent set, and that's where it started to go downhill for Italy.
Italy now trailing by 4. 16-12 is the score. Monique prepares to serve. Agonu with the reception. Bossetti with the cross-court spike dealt with by Suellen. Big bump from Amanda. Goes over on the second contact. Pushed over quickly by Roberta. Italy recover. Backcourt spike from Agonu. It's inaccurate on that occasion. So Brazil close to within 3.
Agonu was unsure what to do when it came to her, when she saw all the blockers that were in front of her, and she thought, right, try and miss this. It was also a little bit behind her. She tried to avoid the block. She's missed the court. She's mortified with herself.
So timeout Italy. Brazil edging their way back into this one as they look to close it out right here and now in set number 4. Doesn't look as though Tandara is going to make an appearance on court. As Clayton pointed out from the early stages when the initial sets of substitutions were made. Brazil's leading scorer, an interested observer on this occasion, that service error. Point back to Italy. Can they capitalize and go on a run? Successive points here. They lead by 4. And an unreturnable serve sees them extend that lead to 5.
Amanda's turned by the ball. It was a ball that was heading into the corner of court. She was unsure as to whether it was going out or not. Played it at the last moment. Dug it into the crowd. Climax calls timeout. Very difficult to see how Brazil are going to get back into this one now, in the way Italy are playing.
Indeed, it's that type of evening for both of the coaches, truth be told, because the match has swung back and forth in dramatic fashion. Suellen with a terrific save on the resumption after the timeout. Oh my goodness, what a dig from Suellen. Brazil get it over on the second contact, but they couldn't keep themselves in the points any longer. Chirichella producing the clean kill, and just look at the reaction that elicits in the crowd.
What an absolute thunderous spike this is from Agonu. You can hear that reverberating around the arena as Suellen made the dig. Great finish to give Italy the point. Oh, it's another ace serve, and again Amanda has really struggled with a ball that's come over her left shoulder, and it's turned her as she's tried to play it, instead of her trying to take the ball further in front of her where she's in control of the ball. And Roberto Guimaraes is going to make some changes here.
So the shortened 5th set looking like a distinct possibility here, because Brazil are trailing by 7. They battled their way back to just 3 at 13-16, but since then, Italy have rattled off 4 points in a row.
Brazil are unsure where they are on court here because you've got two middle blockers next to each other now. Carol has come on and she's next to Anna Beatrice. They're both middle blockers, and I think there's going to be some kind of just working out what they've got to do now and who's doing what. Right, are you middle or am I middle? Well, we're both middle, but yes, but where am I going to go now? Right, well, you better go over there because I'm blocking in the middle. But very interesting that decision made. So it means that I think they're just checking this as to who should be going where here, which is why there's a bit of a delay, because Carol is a middle blocker and would have expected that for Brazil maybe that Carol wouldn't have come on in that position. But again, it's just this whole position of not wanting Tandara to come on the court. So just confirming now who was called on to go where. Certainly Macris has gone on as the setter, and Carol's come on as the opposite. But they have to work out now exactly where on court that's going on. It is indeed, as we've just been mentioning, the fact that Macris and Carol have come on. They're just trying to work out where on court they're supposed to be going, but more importantly, who they came on for will determine where on the court they should be stood. Carol has come on from Roberta, so Carol's come on as an opposite player. Macris has come on as the setter. And after all of that, Danesi makes the error with the serve.
Well, I guess a sense that Amanda was relieved to see that one sail beyond the baseline, because she's had a torrid time in trying to deal with that serve. Ace twice in rather close succession. Italy had equaled their largest lead of this fourth set by stretching it out to 7. Brazil back to within 6, but running out of rope here in this fourth set. Oh my goodness, and that is a prime reason as to why Gonu with another backcourt blast of a spike.
If Tandara was in any doubt as to whether or not she'd be coming on court, she definitely knows she won't be now, having Carol come on as a middle blocker to play opposite.
Diving save by the Italian captain, the dig by De Gennaro, and the spike from Agonu turned back. She then deforms the shape of the ball by slamming it forcefully into court. The point went against her team.
You have to like Egonu's passion, but also the fact that she goes for everything. She hit that as hard as she could, and she's frustrated herself at getting blocked, but actually you shouldn't be. The block gets you, that's a good block. And if you think about it, just as long as you don't make the same mistake or hit next time into the similar situation, then it's not a problem. Well, that is a problem for Italy, as Ortolani, having got it past Brazil's block with the help of the net has then carried the ball on out over the sideline.
Brazil will continue to battle. Anna Beatriz with the serve. Back to within 5. Agonu with the reception. Oh my goodness, now fortune favouring Italy on that occasion. I'm not quite sure what transpired there. We had a terrific view from end on, but Brazil team seemed to be totally bemused.
Malinov tried to get it to the captain. It was too high for her, but because she set it towards the net, it's gone over, and then over the block as well, and landed in court.
What a save by De Gennaro, diving across court. And the point goes in favour of Italy, who are on a roll once again.
Italy using the block after a magnificent pickup by De Gennaro. Gonu getting it off the hands and away. Italy to have the point.
To bring up set point here and there. Well, I thought they'd done so, but credit to Brazil for keeping their concentration. They get it over, but they can't keep that one alive. Ortolani moves to 19 points in the game. She leads all scorers on her 15th clean kill. It is set point for Italy, and they have an 8-point cushion with which to play.
Link and Roberta back into the action, but not question of if, but when Italy take this set now. Go into the roll of the dice. That's the deciding fifth set.
Clever play from Roberta. She pushed it over on the second contact. Just gives them a stay of execution. So they reduce the deficit back to 7. So Gonu with a difficult service reception, pushed over by Chiricella. Ball all around the front court. Chiricella was going for the back court now. Challenge has been requested because the point went in Brazil's favor. Italy were claiming a touch at the net and that it was inbounds. So which one is it going to be? A challenge has been requested.
Ball had popped up onto the net and the Italian captain decided to go deep. Did she catch the baseline? She didn't. And you kind of got the feeling as she requested the challenge, she knew she hadn't made it. So set point saved.
So still 6 of them to play with for Italy. Huge pressure on the Brazilian captain as she serves. And she produces an unreturnable serve. Well, what a moment to pull out an ace straight down the sideline. Italy electing to leave it, an error of judgment on that occasion.
Gonu, the player that Brazil are going after here. It did look like it might have been going long. It's just crept in on the baseline.
Well, she went for the same trick, but couldn't repeat it. And so it's Italy who take the 4th set, 25 points to 19 to square this thing up at 2 sets apiece. We are going to the sprint. That is the 5th and deciding set. First team to 15 will take this one, which has been an absolute classic so far.
Well, we knew it was the big game of the matches here in Abu. It hasn't disappointed. We are definitely getting value for money. Captains come together to meet with the first referee. They'll toss the coin again to see who'll serve, who'll have which end. Just a reminder for those of you perhaps maybe a little bit new to volleyball, as we're in the 5th set, it's to 15. Still have to win by 2 clear. There are no technical timeouts in the 5th set, but once we have a team get to 8 points, both teams will change ends in order to give parity to either end of the court. What a game we've seen. Here are the highlights. The stats from the last set. Italy out spiking Brazil, giving them one more error, but also out serving Brazil as well, 4-1. Very difficult to say which way this one's going to go after seeing the way that the teams have played over the sets. Brazil dominating one, Italy dominating another. And then the only set that was, I guess, the closest in that respect was the first at 25-22. The rest have been very one-sided in favour of each team. Will the 5th set be the same? Will we get to a point where 14 all, for example, and we just keep going to see who'll win it? That's certainly what the neutrals were like.
Well, the energy level hasn't decreased or dissipated one iota. Been on court for over 2 hours now. Still the level of play, commitment remaining incredibly high. So we go into the 5th set sprint. Gonu with delicate touch, and it proves to be, well, he's kept alive. Who's going to bump it over? Amanda does so. Italy now with time to set. Gonu finding the space on court in emphatic fashion to give Italy the first point of the deciding set.
Really good pick-up by Monique, then by Roberta. But as Adi went through the middle with a ball that didn't come to her, Gonu had a free swing outside to bury it cross court.
Bossetti preparing to serve with a team up by 1. Well, a service error ties things up at 1 point apiece. Saved by Suellen off the deflection from the block. Terrific reflexes from Malinov. Was bumped over by Bossetti. Now Brazil with time to set. Goes out to the flank and Amanda screams with delight. Because De Gennaro was unable to dig that one out despite the desperate dive with outstretched reach with one arm.
Well, the level has remained high. We're into the 5th set, as we would expect from 2 world-class teams.
Gonu with the service reception, but it went way out beyond the other sideline, and then Bossetti attempting the backcourt spike. She couldn't control the placement either. Brazil taking 2-point lead.
Talk about bettering the ball in volleyball, so if it's a bad pass, you make up for it. Try and make a better set. If it's a bad set, you make up for it with a better hit. Last point for Italy, everything was compounded. After all, that's much better though. Gonu finds her way cross court. You get a feeling as well that for Italy now, it's a case of, if we get the ball in, let's just give it to Gonu. She is scoring from just about everywhere. And then we've got backup with Ortolani, backup with Chiricella and Danesi, and also Bossetti. They can all put the ball away, but certainly the player that's scoring all the points right now is Gonu for Italy.
Gonu didn't enter the fray until the 2nd set, and she's Italy's 2nd leading scorer, but Danesi has been a tower of strength in the blocking department. Her 6th stuff block, leading her team in that regard. With 14 points, she's her team's 3rd leading scorer. Service error from Chiricella. Brazil restore their 2-point lead. This is the 5th time that Italy have been the 5th set distance. Their record is currently an even one. They've won 2 and lost 2. Which way is this one going to tilt? Deflection. Sees Rosa Maria adjust to keep her team in the points, but then she can't find the accuracy. Brazil are claiming touch. Italy are celebrating. So one would suspect that Brazil are going to launch a challenge.
Looking at the reaction from Guimaraes, he's saying, no, it's okay. He's more in hope than anything. They're asking the referee as Ortolani serves now for Italy.
It's a terrific response from Adi. And just look at the togetherness and unity. And Brazil continue to show tenacity that is such a hallmark of their play. The moves to 10 points in the game on that her 6th clean kill. So Brazil leading by 1. Delicate serve just beyond the 3-meter attack line, received by Danesi. Then Amanda with the dig. Amanda's going to have to put it over. She does so. The reverse set, or excuse me, the set to the near side, and once again it's Agonu, just as you suggested it would be.
What an amazing spike. Talk about a super spike. She's hit this 4-4 inside 2 blockers and inside the defender waiting over at 4 as well. Incredible spike.
It's a brilliant serve, and it sends Amanda to the court. While Brazil was scattered. The point-winning play produced by Malinov, and Italy take the lead for the first time since securing the opening points in this deciding set. Malinov has done a terrific job securing some sneaky blocks. It's her 3rd one in her 4-point total. Wonderful hitting at the net from Brazil. A parity once again here in the 6th set. Excuse me, the 5th set at 6 points all.
Nice on the slide behind, in between the 2 blockers.
Amanda with the bump, but it's gone straight back over. Oh, what a block at the net, and Malinov in the mix once again.
Monster block ringing out around the stadium, and it was indeed great timing from Malinov. Gets across the net to shut down Brazil.
An unreturnable serve after it clipped the net and died agonizingly in front of the outstretched Amanda. And at the change of ends, it is Italy who arrive at the 8-point total with a 2-point cushion. And these fans beginning to believe that it's going to be their night, but there's a long way to go yet, even though we're only racing to 15.
And if we are to go by the way this match has gone, it's Italy moving to the bad end now, even though they have the lead.
Well, it's been a fantastic evening of volleyball here. And an Italian victory would cap things off perfectly for this crowd, who have really played their part. Service error from Italy, hands the point back to Brazil to see them come back to within 1. Brazil have earned 2 5-set victories. Week 4 play in Jiangmen, China, beating the #1 ranked team in the world, China, and then Russia by a 3-2 margin. Can they secure their 3rd 5-set victory here? Bossetti claims the point, and it's Italy who increase their advantage.
It's been a while since Bossetti's had a hit. She's done extremely well. Quick hit from her before Anna Patrice can finish her block. Italy will take the point.
So Malinov with the serve, the reception from Amanda. On the reverse set, Anna Patrice now not quite sure there's much confidence in Brazil. Inquiring as to whether there was contact. The point has gone in Italy's direction. Timeout has been called, no challenge requested.
If Anna Patrice had seen it hit the block, then she would have called for the challenge. The first referee was thinking a challenge was coming. He was about to signal for it. She's been told, no, it's just a timeout. We'll just take a breather, get ourselves refocused here. It's a big lead for Italy in the context of this being only to 15 points. as the attack sailed long, didn't catch the block on its way through. Santi very helpfully saying it was out.
Swellen, the libero, receives serve. Backcourt spike is a real hammer blow from Monique. Brazil's leading scorer. Another clean kill to her points total. So Brazil back to within 2. And Beatriz prepares to serve. 12 points in the game for her so far. 4 Brazilian players in double digits. So Gonu with the reception, pushed over by Ortolani. Oh my goodness, that's a heavy dive to the floor by Malinov, but the point has gone in Brazil's favor. 4 touches produced by Italy in getting the ball back into play.
Brazil playing to the whistle, doing their job. And straight away, Gramage was saying there was 4. And he gets the referee to agree. All the players can see there was more than the 3 touches required. Just like that, Brazil back to the inner point. What change? The pressure here on Italy now.
No physical exertion from the coaches, other than their gesticulations over on the sidelines, but they are always thinking. We saw the Brazilian coach earlier on furrowing his brow furiously. He was coming up with schemes and adjustments and counterpoints just to ensure that his team had the advantage. It's been neck and neck in that regard so far, and in terms of execution. And there is so little between them on the scoreboard. If Ana Beatriz can secure this point for Brazil, then there will be nothing between them in terms of sets or points here in the decider. Good reach by De Gennaro, and that is indeed the juncture we find ourselves at, because it is 10 points apiece in the truncated 5th and deciding set, which automatically means that it's 2 sets all. Nothing can separate these teams, and we've been playing for close to 2.5 hours.
Good coaching decision by Masanti. Igonu is going out. Riochiali coming in as the passer defender. Igonu will come back in when she gets to the front row.
So Parocchiali with the initial reception, it went straight back over, and Adi pounced on it in a flash. 11 points in the game for her now.
That's frustrating for Masanti. Not sure what to make of that, because Parocchiali's a libero. She's used to doing that, but she's come on not up to game speed and dug it straight as an overpass for Brazil to put the ball down.
4 points without reply have been produced by Brazil. They've edged ahead beyond the 10-point total. Can Italy respond? Bossetti with the hit. Oh, that is a fantastic put away. Finding the corner from a terrific position.
Nice set from Ortolani. And then Adi's gone too far wide, which opened up that angle for Bossetti to put the ball away. Igonu back into the front row now.
So Amanda sees it blocked at the net by Ortolani. The set from De Gennaro to Igonu. Delicate touch from her. That's picked up by Monique. Backcourt spike is completely mis-executed by Rosa Maria. She trundles it into the net. She can afford a wry smile, but that has seen Italy edge ahead by 1. And they are just 3 points away from the winning post here.
Amanda went in to help with the block. She can't now hit. No one in the front row is available to hit. Goes to Rosa Maria, and in trying not to make a mistake, makes one.
Oh, and a brilliant block by the Italian captain. Sees Italy on the cusp of match point here.
Morris is going to have to just try and keep his cool here as he calls for the timeout. Get some information across. He's just going crazy. But there's very little benefit in telling the players off here, telling them what they already know has happened. There's no point saying, we haven't done this, we haven't done that. well, yeah, we haven't. So what do we actually need to do now to get back into this one? And that's the art of top coaching, is being able to get the information across. That's vital, that's needed for what's to come next. Great commit block from Italy to deny Addy.
Well, it was a run of 4 consecutive points from Brazil to put them 1 point ahead, but now Italy rattled off 3 to go up by 2. Brazil appear to be in a commanding position here. The set produces a delicate touch from Amanda. De Gennaro brings Agonu into the play. What a save by the libero Suellen. Brazil still in the point. And Agonu caught into action once more. It goes way beyond the baseline by a proverbial country mile. And Agonu, frustratingly, makes her way over to the sideline because she made a complete hash of that one, and she had been on fire all game long. Now, a challenge had been requested by Italy. The point went in favor of Brazil to bring them back to within 1. What will say Hawkeye?
They're challenging just to see how much she missed everything by here. I think it might be a couple of country miles. And more often than not, Italy just want to settle things down and have a bit of a breather. And that's just the frustration of youth for Agonu. She absolutely ripped into her first spike, and Suellen dug it. And that's frustrated her. We've seen her get frustrated a few times when it hasn't come off for her. And then she's come back, she's tried to hit it even harder, realised she's got too tight to the net and just made a complete mess of it. So the only thing that may well have happened is Brazil may have touched the net in the process of Agonu putting this one into the back wall. That's probably what they're going to have a look at. That is indeed what they're looking at. And there is no fault. The hair caught the net, but that's not a fault.
So this is an absolutely critical phase of play here. For the conclusion of this exchange, lead to match point Italy or parity at 13 points apiece in this truncated 5th and deciding set. Brazilian captain Roberta with the serve. Agonu with the reception. De Gennaro with the set. The spike is dealt with by Roberta. Suellen, Seps, overhand reception from Malinov. De Gennaro bringing Ortolani into it, and it's Ortolani who comes out on top, evading the Brazilian blockers. And it's match point Italy with a 2-point cushion to play with.
Well, if there's anybody you'd want to go to in that situation, it's Ortolani. She puts it down the front of Brazil's middle block, and they are on the verge of a big win here over Brazil.
So the Italian captain with the serve. It's received by Amanda. And they've done it! A come-from-behind victory has been secured by Italy, prevailing in a 5-set thriller over Brazil. What an absolutely sensational game we have just witnessed. And it's Italy, the 7th-ranked team in the world, who secure a rare victory over the 2-time Olympic champions. Brazil had won 30 of their previous 37 encounters at the world major level, including each of their last 10, but not here today on home soil. It is Italy who have prevailed in 5 sets, 3 sets to 2, 22-25, 25-20, 17-25, 25-19, 15-12, taking the last 2 sets in succession, and that is why there are high fives all around the Italian contingent. They secure a rare and famous victory to make it a clean sweep of wins on home soil to conclude round-robin play for them.
The fans still celebrating, still cheering. It's going to take Italy a long time to get off the court after this one. Everybody is going to want a photo. Everyone's going to want an autograph. Fabulous performance, especially as well, Italy without Pietrini who was their go-to player through the outside, but has been recalled to go and play under 18 international volleyball, along with Lubian. And with only 12 players to call upon for this game, they have got the job done. That being said, Brazil decided to rest Tandara, their big opposite attacker. She played no part in the match. Even so, you have to play what's in front of you. This is how it was done. A huge block from Ortolani after she'd got the point as well to set up match point. What a way to finish.
Well, because it has gone the 5-set distance, remember the points will be split. So even though Brazil's overall record will now stand at 12-3 after the completion of the round-robin standings, they have added a point to the 34 points they came in with. They will end with 35 points. Let's see what seeding they will end up with as they go through to the final 6. For Italy, well, what a remarkable run. That is now 9 straight victories to conclude their play in the VNL round-robin stages. And that is after conceding their first 4. The longest winning streak in the VNL after USA lost to Serbia a couple of nights ago. What a terrific conclusion to the VNL for them. Let's take a look at the highlights from what was an absolutely classic encounter.
Here are the stats from the match. Just 3 points in it overall. Italy 104, Brazil 101. And looking at the blocking statistics, both teams doing really well in that department. Italy, though, out-serving Brazil and making a few more errors, but out-hitting Brazil as well. Famous result for them. They'll be really pleased with that. There's a way to finish their VNL this year. And who knows, maybe they'll have some bragging rights over a team, Brazil, who are looking to win the VNL. To turn around and say, well, we beat the champions, that would be something nice. The VNL to come in a week's time when the top 6 teams, or top 5 including China, will make their way to China to see who will be the best of the best for 2018. And we can get ready to have a chat with the Italian captain to see what she has to say. And no doubt it's going to be one of those ones where just trying to take everything in that's happened is going to be very interesting to see what she has to say. We can hear from her now.
Hi Christina, you did great tonight, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm so happy for tonight. We play very, very well and like a unique team. So this, I think, will be our best player in this match.
Thank you very much.
Well, short and sweet from the Italian captain. No doubt she is absolutely delighted at the effort that her team have produced to secure a famous victory on home soil. And this is how it affects the top half of the table. But as we said, Italy cannot close the gap on anybody. They can close the gap, but they cannot catch anybody in the top 5. And so they will have to console themselves with the fact that they concluded the VNL with 9 straight victories. What a roll that was. Brazil come away with 1 point to increase their total to 35, having improved to 12-3. Well, that concludes round-robin play from here in Eboli, southern Italy. Thank you for staying with us. You've witnessed an absolute classic to conclude Pool 19. Thank you for being part of the game.